So we have a freedom to choose what we want to do in our lives. We have the freedom, and that's the beauty of the free market in our lives. And something I want to talk about is I want to give a couple examples. And one example is the car dealership. When I was at a car dealership earlier this week, I had the decision. I went to about 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 car dealerships, and if that wasn't an available option, then I would have had to go to one car dealership, and they could have raised the prices up as high as they wanted to, because there would have been no competition. And that's the thing. Sports teams, we have the freedom to choose if we like the Lakers or if we like the Clippers. We could choose if we like the Celtics. And we could live in America. Well, we live in America where we could live in LA and go for the Celtics. We could choose to support the Toronto Raptors. We could like any team around the world. And another example is that the mechanics. I chose to have my loyalty at some mechanic, which I believe was kind of a mistake. I believe that loyalty should be earned, and it should always be tested. So with the mechanic, with the sports teams, and with the car dealership, you do a disservice by deciding to choose to give up your free market and your free will. Because when you do that unchallenged, you leave something unchallenged, unchecked, and you just give blind loyalty, what happens is that you rob yourself of the opportunity to follow something that's growing, and you rob them, the person that you're giving loyalty to, the opportunity of improving themselves and earning what they earning your loyalty. It should be something that's earned. They could get very complacent when they don't do that. A good example is the car dealership. A car dealership could keep getting old cars, just constantly grabbing old cars, and they could even become obsolete. But the reason they don't become obsolete is because you yourself have become obsolete and chosen to continue in that car dealership. So all your cars are old now and they're all messed up, but they could get the car dealership that you go to can get away with that because you're loyal to them. And despite how cheap your car continue to come out, your cars continue to come out, no matter how bad and how much you complain because of it, it's your decision to stay at that car dealership giving out old cars and messed up cars. You have the opportunity to leave, but because you're stubborn and because you want to be so loyal to that car dealership, what happens is that you continue to get hurt and continue to get played and tricked. Sports teams. A lot of these billion-dollar sports teams, the richest sports teams, a lot of them, like you'll notice, the Cowboys, sadly the Lakers, who else? The Knicks, these franchises, what you see is that a lot of them get complacent because they're so rich and they have such a huge fan base that they say, oh well, we'll still sell so many tickets even though everybody on our team sucks and our team really sucks bad. And I'm a Lakers fan. And I'm loyal. I can mess up some places in life, all right? I'm gonna choose to stick with the Lakers, and I liked them when they were a terrible team. They had Kobe Bryant, and that's my decision. But sports teams, I think that's differently. You have a different kind of relationship, and you know they're from LA and all that, but it's fun. It's like a bad relationship. They're doing better now, but sports is one of the things that I think that we could kind of give sway to because it's different, and I'll probably have to explain that in a different video. Another one is mechanics. Now when you're mechanics, you go to the same one, you give them loyalty, they could start to jack up the prices on you, they could start to give you bad service, very poor service, and you can complain all you want, but if you keep giving them your loyalty and you just give them your all your attention and just everything, you give them the calls right as soon as your car's messed up, you just give them everything. What happens is that they get comfortable and they do the same thing that the car dealership that is obsolete will do with you. Give you bad service, treat you bad and everything, and the only reason is because you allow it to happen. You should always be testing the marketplace. You should always be looking at all these places, and I think that that's what keeps us growing. Because when we get stale and we stay committed to something just because it gets us by, what happens is that we don't grow, and the product that we support that's stale doesn't grow either, and we do a disservice to us and whoever we're following. So what I like about the free market is definitely the competition factor, because when you get to the other side of it, it's just idleness and laziness, which is something that nobody should ever yearn for, and it's something that we shouldn't go aim for, because we rob ourselves of so much beauty in life, and we rob ourselves of so much opportunity. Choice. When you have the market, you have the choice. You can learn from everybody. You can learn mechanics from the mechanic. You can learn cooking from the chef. You can learn how to work out at the gym from the gym guy, from the bodybuilder. You can learn all of those things from anybody you want. And when you idolize one person and you choose to just leave the free market and choose one person or one source, what happens is that you only have one supermarket. What happens is that you only have one option in everything to choose from. And that's the beautiful thing about Amazon. That's the beautiful thing about what my cousin Eddie was telling me about, being able to look over the advertisements on the mail and say, I want to get this product at this store, I want to get this product at this store, I want to follow the deals, because you get the best of both worlds. These guys are competing, you're able to get the lowest price, and we're constantly seeking ways to grow. And the choice is such a beautiful thing, and the ability to be able to learn math from such a smart math teacher, and to be able to learn science from a scientist, instead of just having to get your source from one person all the time. Another good thing is that you have accountability, checks and balances. When you leave the free market of life and you decide to just follow one person, you don't have any accountability. The person that you're following has no accountability. You overlook a lot of the flaws that person has. Or what happens is that it's when it gets to the point where you're looking at the flaws, you get let down a lot. And that's the thing about following one person or one thing. You get hurt because that person has no accountability, and what they do is they begin to make a lot of errors and mistakes because they don't have any competition. They may gain a lot of weight. They may stop working, or they may get really lazy at work and do the minimum to get by. They may stop building good cars and just building trash cars. And I'm giving many examples, but we all need accountability in life. Somebody to push us. And I think when you get married, one of the decisions you should see and make is find somebody who also lives by this free market philosophy. Somebody who always wants to get the best of everything, to always learn the best, and somebody who always wants to grow and find those connections where they could encourage their supermarket to give the best prices, or they're going to leave, and encourage or test and really press on the school that their kids learning at, or leave that school and go to another school. Shop around. Really don't give yourself away that easily. Find somebody that's like that, because when it's time to have kids, the mentality that both of you have are going to go passed on to the kids. And what your kids are going to do is, whenever they see a bad deal, they're going to leave it as well. They're going to understand their worth. And that's the thing, what it's about. It's about understanding your worth. Understanding that you don't have to choose the worst. You can choose the better and test it. And that's the beauty of it. You have to know how to test things. You need to know how to, that's what the free market does. It tests things. You need to know how to give it time. Say, I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks when my decision is made. You have expectations. You say, I'm gonna expect this from you, and if you can't deliver, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. You understand reciprocity. You're not treating me the way I'd like to be treated, I'm gonna leave. Sorry, I'm not gonna deal with your trash. I'm better than that. And you constantly do that. You constantly test the marketplace. Sorry, your service used to be good yesterday, but today it's actually really terrible. Peace out. You're not the only person I could go to. I'm gonna go to someone else today. So let's constantly test the marketplace. Let's live life in the free market. Let's not just idolize one person. Let's not idolize one business. Let's not idolize just one thing too much to the point where we become blind to everything else. And yeah, governments that formed that way under Stalin, Mao, Castro, people who became dictators and killed millions. I think under Stalin there was tens of millions, under Mao almost hundreds of millions, and under Castro there was, I don't know how many people, but you hear the word Castro, you don't associate it with anything good. And America was built on a free market system with checks and balances, with accountability, with competition, and that's such a beautiful thing. And if I could recall correctly, Jesus Christ said to his disciples, after many disciples left him, he said, you guys want to leave too? So he gave them that decision. It was a free market. He said, and they said to him, you're the only one who gives true life. So they understood that Jesus Christ was the best, the ultimate person, the ultimate source to follow. They understood that only he gave real life, and I believe the same too. I believe that Jesus Christ is the only way to get to God. And then so yeah, test the free market at all times and think about it. That's the only thing that's really been working today. We see that new things come up all the time, new governments, new philosophies, but nothing ever beats the free market, because that's inherently what we humans have in life. We have the freedom to make decisions, freedom to do good or bad, and we're going to be accountable one day, and we're constantly accountable. But with that being said, like and subscribe. God bless. Peace out.